Alright, this is Chapter 4, Lesson 8, Dividing Fractions. I'm going to go back through some of the rules. I'm going to quickly go back through addition and multiplication. So remember addition and subtraction rules. You need to go to a common denominator. You need to make sure, I have a little star here, you need to make sure whatever you did to the bottom, you do to the top. So if you took the bottom times 5, you take the top times 5. Then you add or subtract the tops according to which one you're doing, an addition problem or subtraction problem, and you leave the bottoms as that common denominator. We went to multiplication, totally different rules. Step number 1 is not common denominator, it's improper fraction. Once you've gone to an improper fraction, you can look to see if you can cross simplify. And then step number 3, you multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. So now, division, our new one. Division is very similar to multiplication. In fact, we're going to be doing it. Some people just teach this as LCF, leave, change, flip. Because when we did subtraction of integers, we did leave, change, opposite. This should make sense to you. Leave, change, flip. So in division, what we do for division is first and foremost, we go to improper fraction. Second, we flip the second to its reciprocal. Has to be the second one. If you flip the first one, you'll get it wrong. And third, change to multiply. So that was my leave the first one alone, change it to multiplication, flip the second one to its reciprocal, and then guess what? You're over in a multiplication problem, which we've already learned. So cross simplify, multiply the tops and bottoms. So let's practice that. This is the guided practice on page 330, by the way. Number 1, 1/8 divided by 1/3. I would try to go to improper fraction. These are both proper, they're less than 1, so I don't need to go to improper fraction this time. I will flip the second one to its reciprocal, change it to 3 over 1 instead of 1 over 3, change it to multiplication. I would look to see if there's any common factors diagonally. 3 and 8, nothing in common. 1 and 1, nothing in common. So we multiply the tops. 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times 1 is 8. And we get 3/8. Number 2. This one I'm going to need to write as an improper fraction because it's more than 1. Some people struggle with how to write -3 as an improper fraction. We simply write it over 1. -3 over 1 divided by -6/7. I'm going to flip the second one to its reciprocal. I didn't flip it. Let me flip it. Actually, let me rewrite it down below. That'd be easier. -3 over 1. Change it to its reciprocal. 7 over -6. Change it to multiplication. I like to do this with fraction problems that have negatives in them. Use your integer rule. I have 2 negatives in a multiplication problem. My answer is going to be positive. So I just get that so I won't forget my answer is positive. Now I look to cross simplify. 3 goes into both 6 and 3. 3 goes in there twice. I divide it. 3 goes in there once. I divide it. I end up with 1 times 7. 1 times 2. We have 7 halves. Your last step will be to simplify. So that's a division problem. 7 divided by 2. It goes in there 3 times with the remainder of 1. That's 3 and 1/2. And I already know it's positive. So my answer is 3 and 1/2. Alright, number 3. Another one that has a negative in it. So let me go ahead and get my negative answer. 1 negative in a division problem is odd, so it's going to be negative. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to look to go to improper fraction. I can't. I flip the second to its reciprocal, change it to multiply. Look to see if I can cross simplify. I see 4 goes into both these, so let me divide by 4. And divide by 4. Multiply the cross, both tops and bottoms. 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6. And then simplify it. How many times will 6 fit into 7? Once, with one little remainder. That remainder is a 6th, right? So -1 and 1/6. I want to do one more. It's a little more intense. Has fractions, has decimal, or has negatives, and it's written vertically. So remember, this is this divided by this. I would probably go ahead and write it horizontally. Divided by -1 and 5/7. I already know my answer is going to be different signs, negative, or 1 negative in a division problem, negative. I must go to improper fraction. By the way, now I'm dealing with their absolute value, so I'm not worried about that negative anymore. 18 plus 2 is 20/3. 7 plus 5 is 12/7. But I'm going to flip it to its reciprocal, 7/12, and change it to multiply. I notice 4 goes into both these, so let me divide by 4. I get 3. Divide by 4, I get 5. Multiply the tops. Multiply the bottoms. And now I have a problem that I need to simplify. To review, simplify. 2 things on top of each other means divide. Top number goes in the box. 9 will go in there 3 times. Minus 27 is 8, so that would be 3 and 8 ninths. 3 and 8 ninths. So I already know it's negative. Negative 3 and 8 ninths.